Alright, this is June 2017, question number 8. The question says, the first four figures in a sequence are shown below. The first four figures in a sequence, come on ladies, gentlemen, one question left. The first four figures in a sequence are shown below. Figure one is a single dot, while each of the others consists of black dots arranged in an equilateral manner. A. Draw the fifth figure of the sequence. What on the hand? 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, 4 dot. The next one must have what? So 5 dots on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. Do you have that?
Yes, sir.
That's the fifth what? Figure. Next.
How many dots would be in figure 6?
How many dots would be in figure 6?
21.
Well, figure 6, figure
21.
6.
21.
The number of dots is what? D would be equal to a half. Everything? A half times what? 6 times what? 6 plus 1, don't it?
Yes, sir.
A half of this is what? 3 times what? 7. Did you get 21?
Yes, sir.
Figure 6 has 21 dots.
Yes, sir.
Here it is. Complete the row which corresponds to figure 11. Complete the row which corresponds to figure 11. So this would be what? A half times 11. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Times 11 plus 1. 11 plus 1 is what?
12.
A half of 12 is what?
6.
6 elevens. Did you get that? Then now,
Yes, sir.
determine which figure, are you with me? Determine which figure
Sorry, no.
Alright, sorry, let's complete this. This is what? A half times n. So can I just say a half n? Times what? N plus 1. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Fine. You know, there's nothing to put here, so. Alright, are you ready? Now, then they said, determine which figure in the sequence has what? Remember, this is calculating, this is for number of what? Dots. This formula calculates the number of what? Dots. How much dots this thing has? 210. So this is D. A half n plus 1 is equal to what? 210. Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
This is n into n plus 1 over 2 is equal to 210. If I have one fraction is equal to one fraction, what do I do? This is n times what? N plus 1 is equal to 4. Is equal to 420. Do you agree? Alright, I need two numbers. Two consecutive numbers. When I multiply them together, I get what?
420.
If I try to solve this regular way, it's going to be a quadratic equation. Let us see if we can try and solve it without having to work a quadratic equation. You all don't see it. N times n is going to be what? N squared. So it's going to turn out to be a what? A quadratic equation. Which two numbers multiply together? Alright. What is 20 squared? Talk to me. What is 20 times 21? What is 20 times 21? Talk to me. So the two numbers are what? N. Therefore, N is equal to what? 20. N is equal to, are you all seeing me? Come on. We need to know what is what. Shh. We need to know which what. Determine which figure in the sequence has what? 410 dot. Now I'm saying, for me to get the answer, I have to solve this equation. I have to solve this equation. If I wanted to, I could solve the equation using what? Quadratic. And I would get what? 20. But I'm saying, could we try and reason it out? Look here. These two numbers are almost the same number, don't it? Help me know?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So that is why I said, and this number is what? 4 what?
20.
So I said, which number? 20 square is what? 400, which is near to what? 420, don't it? Then I say, all right, well, what is 20 times what? So 20 times 20 is what? 400. But I want two consecutive numbers that when I multiply them together, I get what?
420.
So let me just try 20 and what? 21. Aren't those two consecutive numbers?
Yes.
When I multiply them together, what do I get?
420.
So n must be what?
420.
N must be 20. So it says, determine which figure in the sequence has 210 dots. And I would say the 20th figure, the 20th figure has 210 dots. Ladies and gentlemen, hear what? It's the last question and everybody wants it to be easy because it's the last question. What we don't tell you, when the baby just come out of the first thing and do, nothing is easy. Assume nothing is easy. Don't assume say it hard, but assume that it is not what? Easy. Let's go. Last question.
Show that there is no diagram that has exactly 1,000 dots.
Can I show you where you did that? Use the same formula and put it equal to what? 1,000. You see, if n comes out to be a perfect number like 4, 5, 6, or 7, you know that, yes, there is a term that have what? 1,000 dots. You see, if n comes out to be a decimal, Lord, look here, reason it out. If n comes out to be a decimal, in order for a term to have what? In order for a term to have exactly 1,000 dots, n must be a whole number. In everything that you do, n is always a what? Whole number. N is what? 1, 2, 3, 5. N is always a what? Whole number. If you work out n and get a what? Decimal, it cannot be what? It cannot have a what? 1,000 dots. N must always work out to be a whole number. So we have what? A half. N plus 1 is equal to what? 1,000. This is n plus 1 over 2 is equal to what? 1,000. Cross multiply. N plus 1 is equal to what? 2,000. You agree?
Yes, sir.
We would need to solve that quadratic equation. Sit still, don't move, let's solve it. Sit still, don't move, let us what? Solve it. N times n.
N squared.
N times 1.
N.
Positive 2 to come over and become what?
Negative.
Is equal to what? 0. The first step when solving a quadratic equation is that one side of the equation must be equal to 0. Using the quadratic formula. N is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I'm very happy about this question now. Because it's supposed to be a common sense question. Want somebody tell me what is common sense about this? You better have capital sense in order to do this. Because common sense is not enough. Let's finish it. This is minus 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is minus 2,000. All over 2 times 1 minus 1. This is 1 plus what? plus 8,000 all over 2 minus 1. The square root of what? 8,001 over 2. This is what? Minus 1 plus or minus. Give me the square root of 8,001. Give me the square root of 8,001. Give me the square root of 8,001. 89.448. You know, you can stop here, so now divide by 2. N, this is N. Tell me what N will never ever be. N will never ever be a what? Whole number. Therefore, since N is not an whole number, there are no terms that has what? 1,000 dots. Since N is not a whole number, there are no terms with exactly 1,000 dots. There are no terms with exactly 1,000 dots.